All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of That Makes Synths. And I thought we'd continue talking about synthesizers. I wanted to show another synthesizer that unfortunately doesn't get a lot of love, and a lot of people don't know about it. I certainly didn't know about it until I saw it for sale. I found it online a couple of years ago, and it intrigued me. And what it is a Korg DS-8 digital synthesizer. So this came out, I believe, in like 1987. So just to give you an idea of that era in the 1980s, in 1983, Yamaha released the digital DX7, which really changed things around for the synths and music at that time. It was able to create, I would say, more realistic sort of sounds, as opposed to earlier on with the analog synthesizers. And that synth really changed music for the better or the worse, depending on who you talk to. I mean, it was used a lot in all sorts of music in the 1980s. So when that came out, that was really the big synth, and it also used a new type of synthesis technology called FM, or frequency modulation synthesizers. And I've looked up information on FM, how it works. I can't remember if it uses additive or subtractive synthesis. I think it uses additive, but I can't remember. But long story short, it changed the way things, changed synthesizers. So in the mid-1980s, the other synthesizer manufacturers such as Korg and Roland were trying to play catch-up to the DX7 and have something that could compete on the market. Korg in the mid-1980s, they released the DW series, I think around 85 and 86. And what these were called were considered to be a hybrid synthesizer. So it would be a digital synthesizer, but it had analog filters to give it that sort of sound. And I don't know if really at the time, with Korg at least, if they could make effective digital filters. So, but some people like that sort of grittiness. You get kind of the best of both worlds with the new type of digital synthesis that was new in the 80s, with that, but still have some of that analog sort of sound with the analog filters. So they released the DX6000, followed by the DW8000, which I can show on another program or episode. But after that, Korg was really desperate, I think, or they really needed something that could be on par with the Yamaha DX7, or at least somewhat on par. I should maybe use a better word. So basically what they released was the Korg DS-8 digital synthesizer, which is their first FM synthesizer. And the way they did it was they actually got parts from Yamaha. So in a way, they're competing against Yamaha, but not. One of the things, I think by that time, Yamaha was about to release, or maybe had released, the DX7II, which I believe is kind of like having two DX7s. But Korg released this, and what I was going to say is with the DX7 especially, it has the reputation being extremely difficult to program. It's not like your typical analog synthesizer where you have, just the filters and adjust the waveforms. Instead, it uses algorithms to create the different sounds, and if you don't understand that, it makes it more difficult to program. One of the things that I really like about the DS-8 is that it's set up more like an analog synthesizer. It has, instead of like filters, it has like timbre and EQ, or EG1, EG2, and you can choose what sort of oscillators you want. And honestly, this is, I think it's easier. It's easier to program than a DX7. It's more intuitive if you come from that analog synthesizer background. But also, I would say it's more like a DX7II, because with the DX7II, you could have layers. So you could have one sound on top of another sound. With this, the Korg DS-8, you can do the same thing. And one thing that I really like that the Yamahas do not have is it has a joystick to affect the sound. So here is the sound. This is the French horn. This is a single sound. And then I'll use that pitch with the joystick. You can create some interesting sounds using that joystick. Also, the Korg DW6000 and the 8000 also have that joystick, which I think is a unique thing that Korg had on their synthesizers back in the day. So, like I said, that's French horn. Let's find something else. And by the way, I have to say that you have to think that the sounds on these mid 1980s sounds, they're not they don't have like tons of effects, or they're not extremely complicated. I think this is a good thing, and the sounds are simpler. And I think, at least from a creative standpoint, it may not, for those of you that are used to working with modern day synthesizers or virtual synthesizers, it's almost like you just press a key and you have this amazing sound. With synthesizers from the 80s, I think it's more fun in a way because it has a simpler sound, but then you can build upon that sound using effects. So it in a way, it's, to me, I think it's more fun to sculpt that sound that you're trying to go for. So if you have like a simple sound, you can build off of that. So, and with the DS-8, it starts off simple with, you could do a single sound, or you could build and layer on that, and then add effects to that. So here's, showed the French horn. Let's show another one. This brass ensemble. So nothing fancy. It sounds very digital. It's a synth brass. Flute. Let's keep on going. Analog 1, analog pad 1. All right, so let's talk about the timbre. Let's see what that sounds like when you affect that, where it goes from bright to soft. I'm in the midpoint right now. So it almost sounds like a filter being applied to it. So that's why I say it's more like an analog synthesizer in that regard. All right, so also there's this EG1 and EG2. So let's see what that sounds like. I'm going to start EG1 at 0, and then I'll go up to fast, and then go to slow. Here, I'm going to put that all the way up in EG2. And if I remember what that is, and I could be wrong, it might affect the volume of each layer, so not sure. So this sound has 2 oscillators that you can select from, and it looks like there's nothing on oscillator 1. I do oscillator 2. So some sounds might have 2 oscillators, which is like a analog synthesizer that you can adjust. Portamento, let's hear. It does have effects. I can remember how to select that. Let's go up. Manual. Let's do a layer. So the first layer I have analog pad 2. And now I can find here's that sound. They're actually right there. I hit a layer, and that's the second layer is the initial sound. It's kind of hard to hear it. Let me find something that might stand out a little bit. You have to adjust the cursor to adjust what layer I'm going to affect. So, okay, here's one that'll stand out. Analog pad plus piano. Let's try electric piano. But you can start to hear where you can have some fun with these different layers when you combine them. So this is analog pad and organ. So that initial has that kind of a bell sort of sound. I wonder if I hit EG1 now. Not really hearing a lot with that. And you can adjust the modulation and the oscillators. So if I go to oscillator select, oh, there's an effect. Hear that delay? And that is on the synth itself. That's not an external effect. Which I think that would be very difficult to do. Well, you couldn't do on a DX7 because it just has the one voice. But even on a DX7 II. And that's why I love the intuitive nature of the DS-8. So also we have a balance knob. And I think that's where it will go between the volume of the two layers. Let me double check it. Yes. So if you hear in the center, you can hear the initial sound, which is like a bell sound. And then as I adjust the balance, it'll go to analog pad. So here's both of them at fit. This is at balance at 50. You can hear that bell sound disappear because I'm adjusting the balance. Let me go down to B. So we'll start at the analog pad and then blend down to this initial pad that has that bell sort of sound. So it's cool that you have the ability to blend between the two and adjust that mix. So I know that bell sounds louder, at least to me, compared to that analog pad. So you could blend it together to a nice mix. So let's see if I can do another sort of effect. See if we can do a multi effect. I don't know if, yeah, so this is long delay. Not hearing much on that. Let me adjust it though. So this says there's a flanger. I'm not hearing that effect. And you can even affect what sound you want the effect to. So if you want it on layer 1, you can apply that effect. Let's go down. I have to clean out that volume pot there. There's some pretty cool sounds on here once we can start going up. Square wave pad. That's called Square Wave Pad 2. The sound's called India. Square Fuzz. Synth lead. Piano, electronic piano and strings. Bell and brass. So what I'll do right here, I'm going to turn on the effects here. I'm going to add external effects. Just so you can see, we've got an okay sound here. But if we add some effects to it, I'm going to use Arturia, and I'll do the Rev LX24, which is basically based on the Lexicon reverb box, effects box back in the 1980s. So this effects is called Small Hall. So you can see just with a small hall effect how that can adjust the sound. Take that mid-1980s kind of simple sound and take it up another level. So let's get something crazy here. Let's see. The Earthquake. This is a plate sort of reverb. We'll hear what this sounds like. This is from the Arturia Lexicon 24. See if we've got another like really good Space Drone Hall. So that sounds like a very long delay. So let's hear what that sounds like. So you can see how long that delay is, and that synth just kind of lays there and fades away. So I'll tell you when I let go of the note. So I'm going to start with the timbre, kind of like adjusting a filter. So you can still hear that. That's really cool. Let's find another kind of a crazy effect box. Let me find a kind of more extreme out there effect box so you can kind of hear. I think synths that have more of a simple bass or simple sound, when you add some crazy effects, you can have a lot of fun. I'll try the Valhalla Supermassive Black Hole, which is kind of like an extreme reverb sort of thing. So here's, let me find another sound here. Mallet and pad. And that is just without the effect. Let me just double check that, but I think that is without the effect. I apologize, that did have the effect on here. Here's the dry sound, a mallet and pad. Alright, we'll do the Valhalla, and this is the default setting on Valhalla. It can get a lot crazier than that, so that's why I thought it was the effect wasn't off. So let me try it. Here it is with the Valhalla Supermassive effect. All right, so let's get a little crazy out there. And we'll do some sound effects. This is called Magnetars Boards of AFX. We'll hear what that sounds like. That's all that affects. Let's I'll add a ton of delay to it and warp, which will make it even crazier. Just trying to show you kind of extreme effects. Try another one. 8-note magnetar. So that's one of a, I would say, more of an extreme sort of effect, but you can hear that kind of crazy delay going on. But that's quite a lot from, you know, going from this. And by the way, that Valhalla Supermassive effect, for those of you who aren't into synthesizers or into effects, that's something you can download for free through www.valhalladsp.com. They've got a couple free effects to download, but that's a classic effect that I think a lot of people like. So anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed this. Kind of gives you an idea of at least my thoughts on 80s synthesizers, why it's sometimes better to have a simpler sound and then build off that sound, because it gives you more direction to go. When you have extremely complex sound to begin with, I think it's good for some people, but I like to have that sound to mold for whatever I want to do. So anyways, thank you very much.